Morning, it is March 3rd. Here is your morning news rundown. As always, to all those who have become paid subscribers to this channel, thank you so much for supporting my work. The easiest way to support my work and continue to allow me doing this full time is to either click the button below and become a paid subscriber to my Substack or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron Parnas. We're going to have some exciting paid subscriber only stuff coming soon on Substack this week, especially around the State of the Union or the joint address to Congress. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Let's just jump right into it. This morning, the big news of the morning is that Donald Trump is allegedly meeting with key national security advisors, including Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and others, to discuss a range of policy options as it relates to Ukraine, including but not limited to potentially suspending and or canceling all military assistance to Ukraine. Now, let me put that for you into perspective. If the United States completely pulls out of Ukraine, does not provide military assistance to Ukraine, military assistance that had been already appropriated by Congress to Ukraine, it will absolutely devastate the Ukrainian armed forces, allow Russia to take even more land than it already has, and endanger parts of the Baltic states, Poland, and eventually the rest of Europe. This comes on the heels of Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, confirming or receiving reporting that he confirmed that the United States will no longer conduct any offensive cyber operations against the Russian government in an effort to, quote, de escalate tensions. But cyber operations from the Russian side continue against the United States. There has been no promise from Vladimir Putin's government to seize essentially cyber operations against the United States. But Pete Hegseth and the Department of Defense will not conduct offensive operations cyber wise against the Russian government anymore, at least for the time being. In addition, overnight, Donald Trump on his Truth Social once again lambasted the American public for focusing too much on Vladimir Putin. In his statement, he said, quote, "We should be spending less time worrying about Putin and more time worrying about migrant rape gangs, drug lords, murderers, and people from mental institutions entering our country so that we don't end up like Europe." Now, that talking point, so that we don't end up like Europe, is exactly the talking point we see from folks like Viktor Orban in Hungary, Alexander Lukashenko in Belarus, Vladimir Putin in Russia. This anti-European rhetoric is now coming from the president of the United States of America. In addition, Donald Trump announced that the Treasury Department will halt all enforcement of the beneficial ownership information reporting requirement for U.S. citizens. This was a rule for small businesses nationwide. There have been a lot of litigation over whether or not small business owners will still have to fill out this BOI form. Well, now the Treasury Department has finalized an emergency regulation to formally suspend this rule for American businesses. American businesses will not have to submit a BOI form anymore. In addition, there was a terrible, likely terrorist attack in Germany this morning as a car plowed into a crowd in Mannheim, Germany, killing at least one person, injuring several others. Germany, as you know, over the past several months has had a history of car ramming attacks, from a Christmas market in December to an election rally in February, and now in the town of Mannheim, the suspect has been arrested. The measles outbreak in West Texas has continued to explode. According to experts, they believe that potentially thousands of people have been exposed. Over 150 people have contracted the virus. One person has been killed, and it's been so dangerous that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a known skeptic of the MMR, the measles vaccine, has now written an op-ed in Fox News urging the American public to receive the vaccination. It's gotten that bad that even RFK Jr. is now publicly urging folks to receive a critical vaccine. We'll see if people listen, and we'll see how bad this outbreak grows. Hopefully not too much worse. In addition, today, the Kremlin spokesperson says, quote, "The new U.S. administration is rapidly changing all foreign policy configurations. This largely coincides with our vision." According to Axios, there is a major storm system set to test newly depleted weather service after Doge cuts. And Senator Bill Cassidy is now suggesting reviving Bush-era Social Security reforms as the trust fund faces a possible shortfall by 2033. Tomorrow is Donald Trump's first joint first address to a joint session of Congress to the American people since taking office. The second time around, I will be on Capitol Hill covering that live, so be sure to stay tuned for more content and some exclusive lives coming soon. If you want to support my work, click the button below, become a paid subscriber today, or send a one-time donation to Aaron-Parnas, and I'll see you this evening for an evening news rundown.